Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Shri Swami Narayan Bhagavani Jai. Akshar Purushottam Maharajani Jai. Gunatita Anand Swami Maharajani Jai. Radha Krishna Devani Jai. Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagwanani Jai. Umapati Mahadevani Jai. Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharajani Jai. Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharajani Jai. Pramukh Swami Maharaj Shatabdi Mahotsavni Jai. In the divine presence of Bhagwan Swami Narayan, in the equally divine presence of my Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj, Mahan Swami Maharaj, in the revered presence of saints and the most beloved presence of Vijay Bhai, Hiren Bhai, and the man of the moment, Pratham, and the entire larger families. Some of the people whom I hold dear to my heart, like Rohit Bhai, Manu Bhai. I remember Vivek as well because he also has a place in my heart. But I feel really honored and humbled this evening because whenever we think of marriages, we always think, and I'm being very frank, we always feel that marriages are excessively celebrated. You would not, but I'm telling you my problem. We feel that marriages are excessively celebrated, and I always had a vision that a marriage should be done auspiciously and should be celebrated after 25 years. Because that causes for a celebration when you have remained with each other with the same love, same support. But that's my first prayer, that may we meet again when you celebrate your 25th anniversary. And with the same fervor, same devotion, same energy. The most important part in life is sustaining what we get. The biggest challenge in life begins by sustaining the innocence of childhood throughout your life. That's a challenge. By sustaining friendship, to become friends with people is so easy, but to sustain friendship takes a toll. To create children, but to sustain their careers and their life is a challenge. For children to sustain their love for their parents once they become weak, frail and old is a challenge. For a devotee to sustain his faith in God is also a universal challenge. It is now at this time a point of history when mankind has developed so high that we are talking about sustainable energy. We are talking about sustainable buildings. Even in business, we are talking about sustainable business. What's all these things that people are freaking about for health? We're talking about sustainable health. Even when somebody gets into a position, he talks about sustaining a position. All I want to tell you, the real secret of anything that you begin is sustenance. You might spend so much money in creating a huge bungalow, crores of rupees, but we spend so little in sustaining it. Then in a year it starts cracking up. More energy needs to be spent in sustenance than in creation. So my first prayer today, because I come not to teach or preach, because that's not what I told Vijay Bhai many times that it's not necessary that I should speak. I had come to meet everybody. But I've really come to reach out within my heart to a family that has grown closer to me over the years. So I do feel that I have a prayer in my heart and I want to express that prayer. Of course, I bring the blessings of Param Pujya Mahan Swami Maharaj and all the sadhus. But I'm also leaving a part of my heart here today, this evening. And it's very important that when we talk about relationships, I want to point out to everybody present here that two important dates in our lives. Two important dates in our lives we never chose and we never selected. You know, we celebrate our birth every year. But did we choose the date? Come on, tell me. That I will be born on this month, in this date, on this date. No. We celebrate it. But birth we never chose. And I pray to God that you don't choose your death date. Two most important days of our life we never choose and we never select. But the third most important date and day in our life is marriage. We choose and select. So if there is a moment that we should celebrate the most, it should be the moment of this unification. According to me, marriage is not just a choice. Marriage is not like the Western concept that we get married, we find a person and we fall in love and then we get married. According to our Shastras and auspiciousness and spirituality, marriage is a sacred ceremony. And what better way to begin a marriage than the prayers of a sadhu who is close to you. So I have come with all the prayers that God can bestow upon the two families that are present here. The second most important thing is not just a union or unification of two people. It's not just a union and unification of two families. It's not just a unification and a union of two circles of friends. Suddenly all of you who didn't know each other have suddenly started knowing. I never knew that by just coming close to Vijay Bhai, I would come close to 500 people. Can you see the magic? So it's not just the unification or union of 2,000 people. I believe it's the union and unification of two minds, two hearts and two souls. More than that, I have already told Pratham many times that it's so easy to have your own dreams, but it's so difficult to share dreams. So marriage is a unification and union of shared dreams. Whenever you have to share, it's not just shared dreams but shared destinies. Then it comes down that you will also be the reason for new destinies. It's not just an event that you celebrate and have a great time. It's also a part of great responsibilities. So all that I have to leave you behind with is not something that I want to like teach or preach, but it's a part of my heart, and I want to really say that when you share something, you have to give up something. You can't share a house without giving up a room. So the secret, we sometimes feel that the daughter is giving up her own family that nurtured her, reared her, created her. It's difficult. But I also want to tell you, you also have to give up so many things to take care of the wife that you accept as an equal part of your life. So until you begin to give space, you will never be able to form great relationships. And I didn't really want to say this, but I really want to now share it because it feels homely. That the secret of life is not so complicated. You know, people will tell you so many things, even religious people will come down to you and give you so many sloks and scriptures and so many things. The secret of life is so simple. And you might call me or think of me as sometimes maybe just sheer foolish. But recently I was reading a survey, and I want to really tell you and talk to you scientifically with complete backing. Not because I say this is from a scripture, no, but think about it your own self. Recently in 2018, just a year back, the longest research on human behavior was published by Harvard University. It's the longest research that was conducted for 80 years. 80, it's not done, it's not like our exit poll is just done, a small fraction of our people are taken and that's it, it's done. No. It's a long research, 80 years. 80 વર્ષ પછીનું આ research હું તમને વાત કરું છું. If anybody has questions, you can ask me, but I want to tell you that this research started in 1938. In these 80 years, 4 research directors have been replaced. કારણ કે એ પણ ઉંમર થઈ જાય, they would die. So 4 research directors have been replaced. So it's the 4th research director. His name is Robert Waldinger from Harvard. He has published and announced this research to the people. And it is the Harvard study of adult development. I'm giving you the name so you can go back and check my facts and figures because they are to the point. So it's the longest research on human behavior. It's very important because we're all talking about us as humans and behavior. So what began in 1938, Harvard University selected 268 Harvard sophomores, Harvard students who were bright, intelligent, obviously supposed to be successful, much above the average, and also relatively well off, because the condition of your wealth allows the children to study well. It's important, and I'm not saying it's completely important, but it's important. So 268 Harvard sophomores were selected, second year students of Harvard University. Students. Then 456 students, not students, but children from the slums of Boston. Fine, they were selected. Look at the range. Top, from the poorest of the poor, children who were involved in crime or delinquency or even juvenile offense. So 456 and 268, all of them were combined to actually include the entire spectrum of human development. Okay. Now wait for this. This research wasn't just done off the back foot. This research of 724 young people, male and female, that was conducted every 2 years. And what was conducted? There would be a questionnaire that are you happy, are you sad, what really makes you. So the common things in all the types of the children, whether they were Harvard guys or slums, 4 things emerged in the first part of the research. When they were asked that what do you think will bring you happiness? What we keep repeating, all these kids, slums and the university kids, they said 4 things. First, money. ગમે તેટલું અમે ખંડન કરીએ કે ના કરીએ, is going to be money. Let's be real honest. You have to accept the fact, money. Second was power, satta. Power doesn't mean just elections. Power means in your group of circle, when you crack a joke, everybody laughs the most. That's power. Power is also beauty. If you are handsome and beautiful, it's a form of power. Power is also knowledge. Power being the only guy that people listen to. Power being that people are attracted to you. All these things are compared and connected with power. So first they said money. Second was power. Third was, which was also very important, fame. Who doesn't want to be famous? One of the things that we are jealous of successful actors and celebrities is because we are not them. How avidly we read stories about the fall of great people because we never reached there. Actually, we should be sad. When somebody reaches to that position, then he falls. It should create sadness. No, but it creates happiness in our hearts. So that is, we struggle. So money, power. I think I must be striking a chord. We're all part of this, right? Fame. And the fourth is success. Is whatever you set out to do and you successfully achieve. These are the 4 things that all these kids in 1938 said that they are the things that will bring me happiness. File them away in your mind now. File them away. Every 2 years, the researchers went. They questioned them that, are you happy? What's happening? Most of the time when you answer a questionnaire, you're not always honest. And especially India Mato is never right. I've had this experience fresh. I had come from England and I was a sadhu, a little young sadhu, about 16, 17 or 20-year-old. I got all of our volunteers, BAPS volunteers, and I asked them, કે હવે આપણે meeting કરવી છે કાલે, તો what time should we do it tomorrow? Nobody says anything. I'm giving you a typical Indian system. So nobody says anything. Everybody's looking at everybody's face and saying, Kok bole to, fine. And then somebody said 6 o'clock in the evening. Then everybody said, Swami, 6 in the evening, 6 in the evening, 6 in the evening. So everybody, all the 20 people who were there said 6, 6, 6, 6. So next day, 6 o'clock in the evening, I was there. I said, okay. 2 people arrived. And nobody else arrived. So I said, Miku, kya badhai ha padi thi nahi, come on. It's not that I compelled it. I didn't give the time. Alright. So then we started asking everybody, મેં કહ્યું તમે કેમ લાગે કે સ્વામી મારે તો મારા છોકરાને ટ્યુશનમાં લઈ જવાનો હતો. Fine. Somebody said કે મારે I needed to take my father to the hospital. Fine. Somebody said I needed to go to my partner for some business deal. Somebody said this. Everybody had a great reason. Nobody was wrong. But then I asked them, why didn't you tell us? કે સ્વામી તમને કેવી રીતના કહેવાય, કેવું લાગે? અરે ભલા માણસ ન આવ્યા કેવું લાગે? We are a society of white lies. I'm not trying to tell you to be black and white truthful. No, you can't. But come on, man. That man is saying, okay, it's so easy to say that I nahi aavi saku. What's wrong? But then I'm coming down to if I give all of you a questionnaire and I ask about your personal life, 80% would be, if they say, do you get angry? Hardly. Did you have fights with your wife or your husband? Never. Or we find the most neutral answer sometimes. Every questionnaire can be answered in this thing sometimes. Tu yaad rakhje એટલે તને ઉપદેશ આપું છું. I'm looking at them, but everything is going towards you. So we always say sometimes, and we feel, okay. So what they did, that they would ask a question, and હું તમને એટલે સમજાવવા માંગુ છું કે how detailed this research was. So they would ask the questions to the person. I said, are you happy? Are you happy at home? Do you have great friends? All these things they would ask. But they would also ask their friends and their family members, is he happy? At least if I asked you the same question, if I asked your wife the same questions, both answers would differ. If I ask your children, who do you like more, mom and dad? That's a big bombshell. There was one smart child, I asked you, I said, who do you like, mom or dad more? He said, Swami, I can't tell you. I said, why? He said, then I will have problems later. What a smart kid. He also knew the fine line of life. So what happened? They would do research, not just asking them questions, but asking their family members and near friends to really have a perfect psychoanalysis of the person every 2 years. When somebody asks you, are you healthy? We'll say, great, but they'll also take their health reports, brain scans. Can you understand? These 724 people, every 2 years, detailed research, detailed questions, detailed study of the journey of life. After 80 years, the research came out that one became the President of America, John F. Kennedy. He was a part of that research. Many excelled and dropped. Many were successful, ended up in jail. Many kids ended up in crime. Some killed, got in for murder. Some had divorced. Some married 3 times. Some people who had nothing suddenly achieved something. Some who were rich went bankrupt. All these 724. Some committed suicide, some ended up in long time in the hospital. I'm giving you a quick, I'm not giving you a detailed research analysis, but everything that happens to a normal person. In 2018, when it was published, only 19 are surviving out of the 724 and they are all above 94, 95. Only 19 are surviving, all the rest have passed away and died. But you know what the research says? That from our research we have found that the 4 things that they were saying, that success, fame, money and power, were never important in all these people's life for happiness. The most powerful thing in a person's personal happiness and sadness is relationships. That's why all of us are here in your marriage, because of our relationship with all of you. That's why we are here. We are not just here to keep you happy, and that's why you've invited, and that's what it is. If such a long research on human adult development comes to a conclusion that Sabandh is the most important, and then they go a little further. Relationship is not extensity of relationship, is not that how many people you know, but how well you know people. Are you with me? You can have a directory, big celebrities, why are they lonely? I always ask myself. When a celebrity comes, there are millions of people who are dying to see them, hold their hands, touch them, have their autographs, want to be seen. But why is a celebrity, why do celebrities commit suicide? Because 10,000 people love him or her, but in that 10,000, he doesn't even have a single person that he or she loves. Relationship is not how many you love, how many people love you, but how many you love from all these people. That's relationship. That gives you the comfort. It's not about having many. It's about having some you know well. You are getting one person in your life that you need to know the most is your wife to be. For that you need to also give up so many things. And it's not right that I tell you, and I've not really come to teach or preach, but I want to just really open my heart and tell you. So number 1, it's not nice to have a directory of thousands of people, but I'll tell you now what they say. That of that directory, how many can you call at midnight and tell them, I need 10 million rupees, can you give them? And how many will give you? It's not the blue ticks that you have on Facebooks or WhatsApps. When you lose the key of your house, it's the neighbor that helps you, not the blue ticks that you have. Who is available for you? You remember when you are ill and inside an ICU, who's going to sit outside? Not the guys you are friends in your chat rooms, but the people who are around you. The problem with our society is we have started focusing on people who are distant and ignoring those around you. I want to tell you, those around you are the most important. You need to have, so relationship is not the extensity but the intensity of your relationships, number one. Then they also studied that, you know, the elderly couple who are 90, both the husband and wife are 95 and 92, they are known as the blue zones, where people live, a couple, freshly married, were traveling in a train, very rich couple, and the lady had fur coat. At that time, fur coats were the expensive, the high-end stuff. And she kept moaning and moaning and moaning, and you know, she was cursing this and she was cursing that the train was not right, the compartment was too stuffy, and she's looking out of the window and said, oh, the sun's out, it's already raining, and she was cursing. And somebody came down and some other passenger asked the man, he said, sir, what do you do? He said, both of us are in the manufacturing business. He said, what do you manufacture? I'm trying to tell you, it depends on you. You can be here, and suppose Vijay Bhai forgets to shake hands with you and spends more time with somebody that you don't know, you can start manufacturing your own unhappiness. But you can remain here and be here, and you can manufacture happiness. You can choose to be happy. So relationships are perhaps the most important thing in life. This is science. But let me tell you from common practices that I've seen, it does really, if you can't relate to your own children, you are miserable parents. I've seen so many parents like that who have missed the bus and they can't relate. If you can't relate to your neighbor, you've got miserable day beginning and end. Imagine, I'm just telling you the truth. If you can't relate to your friends, many people tell me that, Swami, I just can't go to work. I say, what, is the work difficult? He said, no, my co-workers. If you're in a cricket team and if you can't relate to your players, even if you win, you are miserable. If you can't relate to God, you're also miserable. If you can't relate to sadhus, if you can't relate to people, you become miserable. Relationship. You can't tell me just because you're intellectual, a doctor marrying a doctor would be the happiest couple. No, roj rate operation kare. Ketla jagda thai che. I'm not saying thai because of lack of relationship. And I've seen that. Once I was in Ahmedabad and I got a call from a very elderly person, and he said, Swami, I need to meet you suddenly. And I said, what's the problem? He said, my son, you know, he's that, he's bad, he's this, he's doing this. I said, okay, you come down and I'll talk to you. After a couple of days, I got a call from so many people. We get regular calls, and he was a young man. He said, Swamiji, I need to really meet you. I said, hey, what for? He said, my dad. I said, what's the problem? He said, Swami, please convince him, you know, I'm really tired of him, and please convince him that he should go to an old age home. I said, all right, come down. On a Sunday morning, after our morning aarti, two people entered. One an elderly man who I had called, and one a young man who I had called. And to my shock and horror, both were father and son. And they were the same guys. The father wanted to send his son to jail because he's bad and so, and the son wanted to send his father to old age home. And Ahmedabad chhetla કહું છું. So I said, કે તમે father ne son છો, તો why didn't you tell me? He said, I didn't know that he had called you. And the other guy said, I never knew that he had called you. I said, then તમે આવ્યા કેવી રીતના? કે રિક્ષામાં. તમે કહો કઈ રિક્ષામાં? એક જ રિક્ષામાં આવ્યા તા લે. They had come to fight in one simple rickshaw Then I said, but તમે એક રિક્ષામાં કેમ આવ્યા? કે પૈસા બચે ને લે. For money they are ready to compromise, for relationship they are not ready to compromise. Imagine what a shock. I did find a solution, that's some other story, but I'm trying to say for so many things you compromise. But to get along we hardly compromise. At the end of the day, it's how you relate to people. You know, one man, he would come to our mandir and he would do pradakshina late night till 12 o'clock. So I was so impressed by him. Because I faith, bol ke bhai shraddha, રાતના 12 વાગ્યા સુધી પ્રદક્ષિણા કરે. Then I told him, મેં કીધું આટલા મોડા સુધી કેમ પ્રદક્ષિણા કરે છે મંદિરમાં? ઘરે જવાનું નહીં? કે ના, મારા વાઈફ સૂઈ જાય ને પછી હું જઉં છું લે. His own home is a tragedy. See, if you can't relate to your wife, can't relate to your children, can't relate to your neighbors. One guy, again, all these things I'm talking to you about are real life stories, not read. One person phoned me and he said, old elderly man says, Swamiji, please, I need help. I said, what's the help? He said, can you phone the local police? I said, what for? He said, my neighbor, he's bad, he's this. He gave me a list of things about the neighbor. And I said, but is he so bad? He said, yeah, cool enu akhu. He branded the entire family tree. He said, akhu peno dado evo to na. I said, come on, man. You never met his dada or his grandfather. But he started branding everybody. I said, what's the problem? Tell me. So he started. He said, Swami, the neighbor is so bad. He has a dog. I said, so? It's his dog. He said, no, but every day the dog would come and spoil, means defecate in front of my gate and then go back to his home. I said, that's the dog's problem. He said, no, but he has trained him like that. Then why would he come to our gate? I said, then okay, then to keep the gate closed. The problem solution is there. He said, keep your gate closed. He said, no, but he does it deliberately. I said, then what's the problem? He said, now I keep my gate closed and I've changed my gate. I said, fine. I said, now what's the problem? He said, no, Swami. Every night, there's so much light coming out from his home and this and this. I said, then? He said, I've changed my room. I said, the problem is solved. What's the problem now? He said, no, but Swami, you know what it is? I said, what? That he has a tree. Now listen to this. He has a tree in his front yard, and that tree has a lot of leaves. And that tree is blocking our sun. In India, somebody trying to complain that he is blocking our sun. There's enough sun in India. Shade is a blessing. But he blocks our sun. I said, then what's the problem? He said, but the problem is that he has a tree and the leaves of that tree fall into my yard and I have to clean those leaves up. So I said, what have you done? He said, I've chopped off all the branches that come into my yard. આખું ઝાડ કાપી નાખ્યું અડધું એને. And he's a religious man. The neighbor is not supposed to be a religious guy. This is a religious guy doing it. આખું ઝાડ અડધું કાપી નાખ્યું બિચારું. ઝાડનો શું વાંક? He cut up the whole tree. I said, now what's the problem? He said, the real problem is કે મારા કપડા સુકાતા હતા અને મારો લેંગો છે ને એના કોર્ટયાર્ડમાં પડ્યો તો એને કાપીને મોકલ્યો. Now you see the problem? કે તે મારું ઝાડ કાપી નાખ્યું છે. I really wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. I'm a Swami, I couldn't laugh, because he has come with this problem. I said, the easiest thing is, you can't change your neighbor, change your home. I said, change your home, because you're having a fight with your neighbor every day, go to some other place. So he came closer to our temple. After 6 months, he phoned again, okay, Swami, even this neighbor is bad. I said, now you must think who is bad. Sometimes to change life, you need to change your own self. In relationship, don't expect anybody to change. The problem is, before we get married, we are dying to please each other. So even if your wife to be, she's late, you say, great. Even if it's raining, you say, what a wonderful weather. Even if you have to wait 10 hours, you'll say, wow, the waiting was worth it. Because you are trying to please each other. But after marriage, we expect the other to please us. You didn't wait for me. You don't cook for me. You don't listen to me. समझी गया? The problem in marriage is before we get married, we want to please each other. After we get married, we want to be pleased by each other. Just keep the focus of pleasing each other, and you will never lose focus of your life. I will leave you with one simple example, again from everyday practical life. Once, and this perhaps will answer all the questions that I've told you. Once in our temple, I was coming down in the evening aarti, about after the evening aarti, 7:30, Ahmedabad Shaibag temple. There was one person, his name is Manibhai. We used to call him Manibhai Chawala. And he was about 72 years old. So once after climbing down the steps, I was looking for my sandals, footwear. Manibhai was next to me. And I told Manibhai, I said, so Manibhai, kya upya? Means where are you going? He said, Jange Chadwa. He said, into battle. It's 7:30 at night, he's 72. He said, I'm going into battle. So I said, come on Manibhai, what do you mean into battle? He says, I'm going home. I said, going home is like going into battle? Don't tell me that. Home is a place which de-stresses you. Home is the place where you really get comfort. When man created a home, his brain started developing because he could get proper sleep. Okay? So Manibhai told me, no, Swami, you don't know. You're a sadhu, you've never married, you don't know the questions of a family, you don't know the issues. I said, what's the big issue in your home? You're already 72. What's the big issue? He said, tamne khabar na pade. I said, okay, then tell me. If you say I don't know, then tell me. So he told me, Swami, look, I am 72. From 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 night in the heat of Ahmedabad, I've been going from place to place to do business and collect money, and I'm running around at 72 to earn money. I'm so dog tired. So now I want to go home. And when I go home, my wife will be all ready, dressed and decked, and she would want to go out. So I'll tell her, I've just come from out. And she said, I'm already always home, I want to go out. See the difference of perspective. Okay, the perspective differences. So I said, then what will happen? Like, she will insist and she'll quibble. I said, what would you say? I said, I'll say nothing because I know after half an hour she'll quieten down. This is the routine. And I said, then what will happen? Then I'll tell my own son that take your mother out. But of course, he's my manufactured person. You know? So he will find a reason that there's no petrol in the scooter or something, my car keys are missing, and he will find a reason not to go out. Then we'll have a 20-minute fight, then everybody will quieten down, then we'll sit down for dinner. This is what I think you will probably identify with so many of these things, yeah? We do not stop our fights because we understand, we stop them because we run out of gas. Because we think, why? Okay. So Manibhai told me, Swami, this is going to happen this evening. I said, look Manibhai, you're in the mandir, you've met me. I want you to go home. I want you to go home. I mean, if your wife says, let's go out, then tell her, yeah, let's go out. Go out with your wife for once. Do what she says. Understand her. You know, I saw blood drain out of his face. He said, nah, Swami, Toto, mane lai jase bare leha. You're so scared even to say yes. I said, come on, Manibhai, you go out and say yes, let's go out, instead of saying no. You know, he gave me a reason. He goes, Swami, if I say yes once, you know, she'll think that this is yes for life. She'll take me out every day. Most of the time, men say no because they think their wives will consider it as a lifetime promise. Okay? And the wives already know that you need to just make the man say yes once and is enough. That's what's going to happen in your marriage. Once is enough. But then you have to know it's a lifetime commitment. So, I convinced Manibhai, I said, for my sake, go home. And if your wife says yes, take her out. Go and do it. Next morning, 7:30 in the morning Aarti, he came smiling. And he was smiling from ear to ear. I said, wow, what a change. What happened? I didn't even know. And I said, what happened? He said, yeah, Swami, I went home. ઘરે ગયો. મારા ધર્મપત્ની તૈયાર થઈને બેઠા હતા. She was ready. And she asked me, okay, let's go out. Like routine. And I said, yes. And she said, not tonight. If you understand, the world understands. Just people forget this. Why do people feel scared to meet religious people? Before they think, they'll say, do this, do that. There are more no's than yeses. But Pramukh Swami has taught us that spirituality has to be as gentle as a breeze, so you would love to be in it. Relationships have to be as gentle as a breeze, so you would love to have them. And I do believe the wealthiest person in this world is a person who can love the most in his life. Remember, everyone who enters your life, which you did not invite, God has sent him or her. And when this happens, the only way in life is three things. First, accept. Don't try and change people. Accept them as you are. Accept them as they are. That's the first sign of love. Love is not to keep saying, I love you, writing letters and messages. That's not love. Love is expressed, according to me, love is not a noun. Love is a verb. It should be seen in action. It's not just spelled out. So first you accept. So many things in our lives we have accepted without arguing. Even the intelligent people who are here who tell me that, no, Swami, I'm a man of my own words, that I accept. Just as I said, you said that I chose my partner. The marriage date was chosen. But let me now reveal the last part. So many things in your life you have accepted without arguing. And those are the closest things to your life. Number one, did you choose your name? Tell me, yes or no? Your name, did you choose it? No. Somebody gave it and you love it. Correct? Every time there's a pastime, you start signing your own name as if you're the most important guy or girl in this world. You didn't choose your name. Did you choose your birth date? Nope. You celebrate it. Will you choose your death date? Nope. Two important dates you never chose. Did you choose your parents? Come on, yes or no? Nope. You accepted them. Did your parents choose you? They'll say they gave you birth, but did they choose you? ये तो तमे जेवा टपके आया छो. They didn't choose you. You arrived with everything. Okay, let's go ahead. Did you choose your face? You look at it every day. Did you choose your nose, your eyes, your ears? No. ગમે તેલા કાન વાંકા હોય, નાક વાંકું હોય ને, the more you look at it, પછી આમ તો ઠીક છું લે. You accept. Your face you accept. Did you choose the color of your skin? Most people are dissatisfied. They just want to be a little whiter. Once a guy met me who runs this, cosmetic industry, and he told me, Swami, the biggest foolery on this earth is fairness creams. Fairness creams, ગમે તેલું તમે લગાડો ને તમારી સ્કિન ફેર થવાની નથી, પણ બહુ લગાડો ને તમને લાગે કે હવે થોડું white થયું. Science tells us you can't change the color of your skin. Toy, the largest selling cosmetic is fairness cream, bolo. And you are still going to use it despite me telling you. I'm telling you, and you're okay. There's no crime in it. There's no kalyan nathi bagadtu. You can do it. I'm not here to promote this or that, but I'm telling you, we didn't choose the color of our skin. Okay, now I want to tell you, did you choose your nationality? What if President Bush dies and then he's reborn in Afghanistan? Come on. Come on, I'm asking you. He can die hating a country and be born hating the other country. Did you choose your nationality? No. If you are a doctor, can you choose your diseases? You say, I'm a doctor. Does it mean that if you're a cardiologist, you'll never get a heart attack? No. You can't even choose your disease. Most eye surgeons and eye doctors or ophthalmologists I see, when they talk to me, say, Swami, if you don't do this, tamari aankh bagarse and chashma avse, and while they're telling me, they're wearing their glasses. Doctors can't choose their diseases. Okay, you were born, but did you get a chance? You were the firstborn. Did you get a chance to choose your brothers and sisters? Nope. I am telling you that some of the closest things that make you happy or unhappy. Did you choose your intellect? You can't choose your intellect. It's what you have. Yes, you can develop it a little. You can't turn a dunce into a genius, no. But I'm just trying to tell you, can you choose your age, that I'll survive for so many years? No. Some of the most important things that make you happy and sad, you can't choose, but you accept. You'll tell me that I've chosen my wife, but all her relatives, you didn't choose, you've accepted. So it's like a package deal. Each other, the general things that come into our life. So all I ask you this evening, to oversee your relationship, may it not just be a relationship between two persons, add a third dimension, that is God. If you have chosen so many things on this earth and in your life and accepted them and you didn't choose them, what's wrong in accepting God? Accept Him and you will find so many things in life turning out beautiful and better. This evening, I've just come here to pray that may your relationships grow. May all the people, their love, make you happier. May you be not just your dream couple, but the dream couple of God, God's dream couple. And may you go in life and attain everything, but never suffer any of the things that people suffer from because of your great relationships you can sustain. Thank you very much for all the love that you have given us, and I pray and continue to pray for all of you. Jai Swami.